JAGMAC here. Today we have a really interesting video for you guys.
And special.
We've got the amazing Nathan and Steven and the star Alicia of our newest music video. Amazing.
Yay!
Yes.
We just want to talk about our experience, you know, what we enjoyed about it, how it came about, why we chose Alicia, and just being able to work with our favorites, our dream team, and you know, who wants to start off?
We made the song back in 2019. That's 2 years ago.
Wow.
No, we were blessed to work with some of the best writers and producers in the industry, and we got to work with somebody named Nana, but he goes by Lord Africana. And the way we made the song was, it was the instrumental, and he said to all of us individually, he said, go in the booth and just do whatever comes to you, and then we'll structure it from there. We're like, what? He's like, everyone leave the room except that one person. And so somebody came up with the hook, somebody came up with the verses, and we didn't even know it until after it was already kind of created, just through melody. So I thought that was really cool. I just remembered that recently. We totally knew that when we heard this song, you know, once the hook was "Darling, You're Amazing," we're like, this isn't about us. This is not about us.
This one's gonna be special. I said special.
It's because the song itself is really deep, and it's geared to, I mean, we could have done it ourselves, but like it makes more sense for it to be about one person, you know. I feel like
that represents so many.
Yeah.
And so, funny story, Alicia, actually, you know what? You tell it, how we got to meet.
So basically, I think it was in August. Alyssa and I met in New Jersey at an event, and we kind of connected and like exchanged Instagrams and everything. And then I remember she reached out to me, and she was like, "Hey, like we're shooting a music video. We like need a dancer." And then I was like, "Yeah, no, I'm so down." And I made some improv videos so they could get like a taste of like my dancing and my style. And even though I'm a ballerina, like I've trained in all forms of dance since I was 3. So it was really like cool. And like, I just remember like when I was improving, like I don't get to do like contemporary that much. I don't get to, you know, improv on my own. And especially like, you know, it's been in the middle of a pandemic. I think a couple weeks later, Alyssa reached back out to me and was like, "Hey, like, let's go, let's do it." And I was so excited. And yeah, I was like, I like couldn't believe it. I was super excited. And even though I had like no idea, like I knew it was going to be great, but like, I mean, it exceeded every single one of my expectations. But like just from the jump, I had like such great vibes about it, and I was super excited.
Nathan, Steven, what was your guys' first like initial thought, like when this song came to mind?
I mean, I think, you know, I've done videos with JAGMAC since like 2013, so I always know what we're signing on for. It's always like a really fun time, and everyone puts in so much work. And so, you know, Steven and I had just partnered to do the motivation video earlier in the summer. And we had a lot of fun with that. You know, I asked Steven, like, you know, what do you want to do? Let's like, I want to do something different. You know, I've been doing this for like 7 years now, so let's like try to think of something that we haven't done before, because you know, this is like a really powerful song, and that was kind of like the prompt that like started our thinking, was just trying to do something new.
Yeah, when I first heard the song, I'm visually stimulated by like sounds, and the first thing I heard from the song was that like siren, or what is it, the
sonar ping or something.
Yeah, the sonar ping. I just got all these like ideas of like, oh, it sounds moody. It sounds a little
Eerie.
Yeah, eerie. And I wanted to kind of play off of that like initial feeling. And yeah, somehow I ended up in a basement, and then I worked myself up.
Exactly, man.
In a house.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like our new songs definitely have matured. And I think that's cool that our videos, like, they go above and beyond.
Yes.
Like, these guys don't sleep until it's done.
They don't sleep until it's done.
We've known Nathan for how many years, Nathan? 15, 16?
I mean, since I was like 11 years old, so yeah, for like 16 years.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so
It's funny because we're at our martial arts school right now as we're doing this, and it's just funny how it all goes around.
And how it's all connected. So basically what happened, how we even got that house, was we had one of our old students come in, and my mom was just inclined to ask this girl, just this random question. She goes, hey, this might sound really random, but, my kids are filming a music video, and you wouldn't happen to have a house that has like wooden paneling? And she goes, honestly, actually, yes, we do. And my mom's like, wait, what? She's like, but the catch is it's in West Virginia. And we go, okay, well, let's just take a look. It was literally perfect.
It was so crazy. When they said it would be filmed in West Virginia, I was like, oh my God, that's where I'm from. Like, I was like, crazy. And I was like, wow, this is kind of like one of those meant to be moments,
Exactly.
A full circle.
Yeah.
Too many meant to be moments throughout this whole video. So I thought that was really incredible how just like our connections here, matched connections with Nathan's group and with Alicia and her, already having family there. It all worked out so perfectly.
Huge shout out to Heather and her
Heather,
family
oh
for
my
using
gosh,
their
yes.
house in West Virginia. It really was perfect for the video.
Back in October, when we wanted to, put the song out, we were trying to come up with ideas, and I was like, I just don't see us really being like the main character. So when, once I found Alicia and she was sending me all these videos, I'm like, all right, that's it. We're doing it. She's the one. Like, I was just so drawn to her dancing and her movements and her expression. I was just like, we have to use her no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Yes.
and so Nathan, you're better explaining.
Yeah, like that was the thing, is this idea kept ping-ponging from Steven to me to you and back, and we knew the basic ingredients, but not necessarily the order or the magnitude of this versus that. We knew JAGMAC was in it a little bit, but we didn't quite know what way. And so we had like a final like core team meeting like the day before filming, and we were like, okay, we have to make some like big decisions because we're going to start filming tomorrow. We started merging some of our corners together, and it started to make a whole picture, which I thought was pretty cool, where we knew JAGMAC was supposed to be in it, but as a supportive force, as a supporting cast, and so they're supposed to be in the periphery as Alicia drove the story forward and was like the emotional hook. And we also knew in general we wanted to be very, very subtle about it and tell a emotional story, even like a spiritual story, but through the lens of something you would see in pop culture, maybe on Netflix or something. And so, we wanted to tell a story of somebody who feels broken, maybe they feel invisible and not seen, and we had this idea that they had trapped themselves, so to speak, in this this mindset, and we wanted to represent that with the house. And to showcase that our main character was broken, we had this picture of herself, of Alicia, and it was like how she viewed herself. It was distorted and cracked and imperfect. So we set all that up in like the first half, and then like right in the middle we cut away from the music, and enters JAGMAC. When they first enter, we cut the music because we wanted it to be suspenseful. You don't know, first you don't even know who they are at first, and then you kind of like don't know like what role they play for our main character. And we felt like, sometimes when like somebody new comes in your life or somebody's reaching out to you, you can kind of like retract a little bit, you know what I mean? Like you're a little timid, you're a little shy, and that's why you see things like, they're having these flashlights that have those like a lens flare because it's very sci-fi, very very mysterious, and she's like, scared of them at first. And so they're in the house and they're looking for something and we don't know what, and she's like kind of warming up to them, but they can't see her yet. And so, we decided to focus on Jared as like our main character that's going to like drive the JAGMAC half the story forward. And so he, in that bedroom scene, sees her breath, and is close enough to like feel her presence, right? And so, then he convenes all of JAGMAC together, and then they gather around the table. And so I guess the story we're trying to tell there is that like by them coming together to like, reach, Alicia, she's able to like essentially have contact with Jared when they bump into each other, and so that scares her, and Alicia runs away because, she's been trapped in this house a long time, and so she doesn't know what's happening. Jared finds the picture, which is like, the last piece of the puzzle, that, that's how she views herself. And so then they all go on their journey outside to track her down. And so, again, it's a story that's like, who are they? Are they ghost hunters? Is she dead? What's going on? And Steven and I, when we created the initial parts of the idea together, we knew that we wanted it to be interpreted in many different ways. And so, like all the comments that we've seen like on YouTube and Instagram, like, I think it's really awesome that people have different kind of like interpretations of exactly what happened. the story we're trying to tell is somebody who has died, and JAGMAC represents like essentially like angels like bringing her home, and putting her soul at rest, at peace. And so only when she's able to like let go of the house and leave and stuff, they are able to like, guide her home. And so that's why at the end you see those lighting effects, because we're finally like lifting the veil off our little mystery here, is that, JAGMAC, they were never alive either. They also represented, a force, trying to help Alicia's soul, be at ease. So we thought that was like, again, we try to be very subtle with it, and you see like the little flowy particles, when it all like shines and they disappear, you see those particles that represent like the energy, the kind of spiritual energy. And you see the same particles when she first opens the door in the beginning, and you see the same, it's very subtle, but you see the same particles when, Gamai and CJ first open the door, to represent that they're also a part of that same sort of, otherworldly energy. We try to lay little clues there.
For sure. Even in the smallest little details, like with the flashlight, when she sees Alyssa for the first time, she's waving, and you can see that the light really isn't. Mm-hmm.
I thought that was so cool.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so like I feel like when you watch it over and over, it's like you get everything as you go along.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my gosh, wait.
I just gotta applaud you, because that's like true art right there. Being able to walk away with a different message every time you watch it.
Yeah, for sure. Like you can take it.
Not many people can do that. Like with our last video, Motivation, it was fun. It's poppy, and most of our other videos are kind of digestible. But this one is you really gotta pay.
It almost
attention.
makes you want to rewatch it, just to figure out those clues and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a question for Alicia. So how were you able to pull your emotions into this video, into your dancing?
For sure. So it's really funny because whenever I first heard the song, I was like, the first time I listened to it, I was like just overwhelmed with how like beautiful the singing was and like how like great the song was. But then I re-listened to it and I was like, okay, really focus in on the words. And then when I was like listening to the words, listening to the lyrics, I was like, wow, this is like really deep. And I feel like it represents something larger. Secondly, I lost my brother. I lost my brother the Saturday before to kidney failure. And it had been a battle that he was ongoing. Like it was ongoing for 5 years. And it just like being in West Virginia and having this shot in West Virginia and being so close to home was just like incredible in the first place. And then, the song and the emotion, I feel like I just felt like it just felt like it, like I had a true purpose and I was meant to be there. And that, the song, the location, the meaning, like everything, like just kind of felt like it was meant to be. And I just felt like I was able to like really like express my emotions through dancing. Like the scene where I remember like whenever I was on the ground in the kitchen and like I'm like curled up in a ball and I like did a little hair flip. Like I remember like that like felt so good. And like it just like just dancing felt so good. And listening to the song and moving, really helped my creativity and it helped me grow as a dancer and an artist, and it just felt amazing. Honestly.
Do you have any favorite part from the actual videos?
I love the part when, and it's like literally half a second. I've struggled with anxiety since I was a kid, and it gets better when you get older. But last year, like this time last year, I was really going through it and I was anxious all the time, waking up like physically sick because I was so anxious. And the scene where we were in like the guest room or like the smaller bedroom, and I was dancing on the bed and everything. Like I remember that like 20 minutes or whatever, however long we were filming that. I remember just like channeling that and being like, because, my character was somebody that was, saw herself as this broken human or broken thing. And I just like felt that, like I truly honestly felt that in that moment. And then whenever I was like, I leaned up against the wall and kind of fell down, like I felt like embodying something like You know what I mean? Something that I had gone through in real life, and being able to portray that in a character in this video.
Wow. And you definitely did. Like,
I love that part,
I feel like everyone that sees that can relate to you. You know, like they may not be a dancer, but they're struggling with something, and like through your actions and your movements, it's like, wow, I see myself in her.
It's crazy because I have a cousin actually, and then when the music video came out Thursday, she texted me this long thing and was like, I didn't know I needed that. And she was she was like the worst. She was like, I was bawling my eyes out. And she was like, I can relate to this so much. And I had no idea that like a song could touch me that much. And I was like, that just like got I was like laying in bed like on TikTok, and then she like sent me that, and I was like crying. Like,
oh my God.
It really makes there's a scene where you're running through the woods, and that was shot at like 12 o'clock at night, and it was like
She's
negative
wearing this
4
thin
degrees.
dress, and she was like, no, let's keep going, let's keep going.
It was really cold that night.
And just
really
hearing about what your cousin said, that really makes everything worth it.
Absolutely. Oh,
Absolutely.
so
and
wonderful.
like that's like the goal, like that, I mean, we all want to do is just make music to inspire people, just like how you want to do that through dancing, and how Nathan wants to do that through his editing. You know, like I just feel like we all wanted to share our story collectively as a team.
Absolutely.
And it just shows what teamwork can do and what can be accomplished through that.
Yeah, I mean, like, I was so happy that we went for it. You know, we really went for it. You know, with 6 people in a group, it's sometimes hard to like, you know, focus the energy because it's always so much fun. It's always like a party every time we get together at JAGMAC. So our videos are always fun. So it took like a lot of almost like self-control to be like, okay, we are going to tell, you know, a story, you know, and a very restrained story that doesn't, you know, everyone's servicing the story that we want to tell and not like getting their own moment.
For me, I think one thing that was pretty cool to think about was just that I think most of the time we were filming during the daytime, but we made it look like it was nighttime, and we had to like cover all the windows and stuff and shine light to make it look like it was like moon shining in.
Just on set for crews, just Nathan, Steven, and Sammy. So a 3-person crew plus, you know, all of JAGMAC's.
You'll never see their car packed with all the equipment that they brought, guys.
If only you could see it. But we'll take a picture of it next time. All right, Mitch, ready? What was your experience? What was your favorite part? What was your least favorite part? Go for it.
Well, I loved every second of it. Every time we do something together, and just like it's an accomplishment for all of us. But like besides like the actually shooting the music video, one of my favorite parts was when our student Heather took us on the 4-wheeler, because she owns like, I don't know how many acres was it, like 40, like 50 acres, something crazy amount of acres, and she took us on her 4-wheeler up to a mountain, and we were just like standing on this mountain just looking around, and it was just trees. It was so beautiful.
Oh man, something similar to that. Besides just getting to work with this amazing team and Alicia and all that, it just never feels like a job when you're working like with your friends and all that stuff. So Nathan and Steven have made it such a cool like experience, and it's always like fun, you know. And I one of my favorite songs is Country Roads Take Me Home. And somehow it makes me think of my home, even though I'm not from West Virginia, but I always wanted to go to West Virginia. So when I was there on site, there was like a little pond, so I was just like fishing, you know, just enjoying life, listening to that song. So for me, that was also my first time in West Virginia, and we actually, so my wife and I drove up like the day before the shoot, and when we were driving from Maryland to West Virginia, once we got to the state, we saw this place called Sheetz. I guess it's like a gas station and a restaurant, and I was like, wow. First of all, what a name. How do we go to Sheetz? Never heard of it? You want to take a Sheetz? So then I was like, Sheetz, all right, I love it. And then she was like, I've actually been there. They have really good food. I was like, food? Okay, let's go. And then like literally we had breakfast there. We had lunch there. The food at Sheetz was so good. But video-wise, just the whole thing, I was so impressed with these guys and Alicia's work. Also coming from a dancer, someone, I love to dance. So just from seeing you portray that throughout the video.
Takes the load off
chills,
for us.
Man, chills. Yeah, you killed it. Everyone killed it, but
all of those parts were really fun for me. But I think that my favorite part of the video and filming it is probably like the first 20 seconds, that whole opening scene. It's a one take with Nathan and Steven and
Sammy.
They're just running in with the camera,
The gimbal.
and they're
That took a lot of teamwork, by the way. There was,
Yes,
I think
Angel's
every one of us was doing
opening
something.
the door.
someone.
I
was
don't think
on-
they understand. Everyone
I
was,
was
doing
holding
something.
the boombox.
Someone had to like hit the bells so it swang, and then
Someone
someone
had-
opened the door. Someone was on the
The
box.
lights.
We got a chair guy rocking the chair. It wasn't a ghost. Sorry, everyone.
It wasn't?
Well, it might have been. That place was haunted.
Actually, I think
But
there was
yeah,
someone.
just seeing. I think that one scene just captures
tone for
teamwork. Sets the
everything.
tone for everything else,
For sure.
and that was my favorite part.
Awesome.
Oh man, you know me. I'm gonna say every part was my favorite, but one of the most memorable parts, I think it was when we were at the table and we were actually praying. So that was actually us together praying, and I just felt just the presence of, I mean,
Go ahead.
of, you know, like Alicia, like your brother being there, and like rest in peace, one of our team members, Ryan. I felt like that was our prayer to them, like just rest in peace now. And just even for those who are still on this earth that are broken and feel invisible, you know, that was such a powerful part. And that just spoke to me, and I remember actually crying during that part, and
There
I
were a
just
lot of
feel
tears shed
a lot of
in this
tears were
video.
shed, but and then I remember Alicia dancing around all of us, and it was such a special moment, and I will definitely never forget that part.
Fortunately, that scene didn't like fully make it. There was a scene when we're all standing in front of that table, but she was actually dancing around us, and that was such a cool moment. And if I were to sum up my favorite moment, I think it would be that moment when Jared and all of us kind of find her there, you know, and which is initially supposed to be her grave, and it was so cold that night. I remember like she was wearing just barely anything. I mean, all of us had coats and stuff. She had literally nothing, but there was something very warm and very special about that moment when we kind of wrapped her and took her in with us, like as if she was a part of our family, and I'll never forget that. But yeah, just like everyone that they were saying, everything that they were saying, that like we are really a family with this whole group of people, with Nathan, with Steven, with, you know, the whole crew, and we just it's never work, like Gabriel said. It's always it's such a pleasure and such a blast every time we can connect and create just good art. And yeah, like this is very special to us because, like Andrew said, one of our team members passed away, and we wanted to definitely dedicate it to him and to Alicia's brother. And so I hope everyone, you know, enjoys this video as much as we did. This is history for us, by the way. We've never had like a main person be in our video before, so we're so lucky and grateful that it was you, and we can't wait to do more work in the future.
100%. No, you guys are all like just like such incredible people. Like JAGMAC, Nathan, Steven, and Sammy, like such incredible people. And you know, in our industry, you know, there are not incredible people, and you know, just being able to work with people that just like bring like such good vibes and energy, and like I just felt like it was so perfect, honestly, and like God made it happen for a reason, and I just feel like it couldn't have gone any better in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Amen.
Amen to that. Well, does anyone have any final thoughts?
Go
I think
watch
that's
the
pretty.
video.
Go
Go
watch
see
it.
the
Go
video.
stream
Let us know what you
it.
guys think.
And watch it again. If you've only seen it once, you need to just watch it again.
Watch it again.
So you'll definitely
Now with
understand.
this-
Now with
Understanding.
yes,
of it.
for sure.
Right.
Well, thank you guys so much for doing this with us. We can't wait to put this out there for the fans and to everyone watching, and we just appreciate everyone a part of this project, and thank you again.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so
Love
much.
you
guys.
Very appreciate it.
Love you guys.
Thank you again to Sarah and,
See ya.
and Heather for the house.
Yes.
See you guys.
Bye.
All right.